We have a national champion on the 40 acres. We'll break that down, talk some March Madness, and a whole lot more next on College Crossfire.
I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Kerwin Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
Oh, that's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out.
Good evening and welcome into College Crossfire. I'm your host, Mark Skol Jr. Glad to have you with us on your Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and meet tonight's panel. To my left, it's last week's champion, Jonathan Polasek. How are you doing tonight, Jonathan?
A little tired, but I'm glad to be back, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Excited for baseball season tomorrow as well.
Yes.
In the middle, Turner Barnes.
How you doing?
Good to have you on. I'm doing well. All right, and last but not least, Sean Mapes looking for his first win in
September.
I don't even since September.
Since September.
It's been a while.
Since the last baseball season, actually.
Since the last baseball season.
It was the
When he
off
was
season
more
for me
win.
too. It was the off season for me
So
too.
maybe it's the baseball season's your lucky charm.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a baseball player.
All right, guys, let's get started. Texas women's basketball season is over. The team lost to UCLA 84-75 in the Sweet 16, which marks the end of the Ariel Atkins and Brooke McCarty era. The loss leaves the team and many of its fans disappointed, but is the season overall a disappointment after the Sweet 16 loss? Jonathan?
I mean, you have to say that it is pretty disappointing. I mean, Texas, they were number 2 seed, one of the, I believe, top 10 teams in the country. But at the same time, I don't think that they were expected to go too terribly far. Yes, they've made 4 Sweet 16s in a row. But at the same time, did you really see them being able to compete with the Mississippi States, the UConns, the South Carolinas, the Louisvilles? Not really. And then UCLA, they kind of showed that Texas just isn't there. I think it's more disappointing for Brooke McCarty and Ariel Atkins. I mean, they're seniors, they're the leaders, and the fact that they couldn't get to the next level, even just to the Elite Eight, I think it's just more disappointing for them that they had such storied careers, and yet they couldn't just get over the hump even one time.
Yeah, they're really the two girls who put Texas back on the map. They were great.
sure.
They were the foundation of what Karen Aston is building here in Austin. Turner?
Heck no. I mean, anytime you get a 2 seed in a Sweet 16 appearance, you got to be happy with that. You know, Texas fans are going to be upset. Yeah, sure, but you can't be disappointed. Like we talked about, Ariel Atkins and Brooke McCarty had great seasons to cap off wonderful careers here at Texas. In the future, it's not too dim. We have LaShawn Higgs, Jatari White, Joyner Holmes, all coming back. At the end of the day, there's only one team that gets to cut down the nets, and this year it wasn't Texas, and all the other teams are going to be disappointed, but that doesn't mean it's a disappointing season per se.
Yeah, people forget that it's hard to win at this level, and UCLA was a really good team too. It's not like they lost to Buffalo or someone like that, but yeah, they could look good.
Buffalo, you're still upset about the Arizona pick.
Okay. They also made a run in the women's tournament as well.
Yeah, but talking about the women's tournament, I don't think it's that big of a disappointment. It being a disappointment, it's all about what your expectations were. For me personally, my expectations were about a Sweet 16. I wasn't, and even if they made the Elite Eight, is that now a success? Like, just because they win one game, it shouldn't really change the outlook on the season. But like Jonathan was saying, it's really disappointing on the fact of it was Brooke McCarty and Ariel Atkins last game, 2 great players that never really won anything like too meaningful. Like, it's not a waste of a career. They're still very storied, they got a lot done. They're going to go down as one of the best women's basketball players here at Texas. But it is a little disappointing on that front. But the season as a whole, they almost played to their seed in the tournament. I don't think it was that disappointing. I don't think it was that disappointing of a season. Maybe a disappointing game, not a disappointing season.
I like to stay positive here on College Crossfire. So I'm giving Turner the point. He said, heck no, it's not a disappointing. Sweet 16, the men's team would love that. I mean, it was a
The men's team would love to get to the round of 32.
They would love to not be on the bubble.
Turner starting us off with the point. All right, guys, moving on. While the end of the women's basketball season might have been a disappointment, not really. The Texas swimming and diving team couldn't have ended their season any better. The Longhorns won the national championship in Minneapolis for the 4th straight year. Obviously, this is an impressive dynasty, but where does it rank in college sports dynasties in the last decade? Turner?
You know, whenever you think of college dynasties, you think of Alabama football, UConn women's basketball, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Texas men's swimming and diving is the best college dynasty that we've seen in the past 10 years. They've won 5 national championships, 4 in a row, and the years that they didn't win, they were runner-up 4 years. If you're counting at home, that's 9 times in the past 10 years they've gotten first or second. And that's going against really good swimming teams like Cal. Cal has multiple Olympians. They've also been first or second in the past 9 years. Man, that's just uncalled for. Yeah, you don't see that in any other sport. Alabama has only been runner-up 1 time, so that's 6 total, but just incredible streak.
Yeah, Texas has guys like Joseph Schoolin beating Michael Phelps in the Olympics as well. I mean, they're amazing. Sean?
Yeah, definitely. It's right up there with the UConn women's basketball, up there with Alabama football, like you said, maybe even Wisconsin Whitewater and D3 football. But to me, the strength of this this dynasty, I think 4 straight, we can call it a dynasty. Sure. Is really the Olympians, like you mentioned, Joseph Schooling beating Michael Phelps, Conger and Fagan both getting to hang out with Ryan Lochte in Rio, just having fun. So that's really the strength. Is 4 straight titles is nothing like you hardly see that in any sport ever. So it's definitely right up there with those recent dynasties.
So you're going to put it ahead, below? Like
I think
with no ties here in college crossfire.
Okay, it's a tier system. No, they're number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Okay, Jonathan.
Okay, for me personally, it's when you think of a dynasty, you think of winning titles, a lot of titles in a very short period of time. And for me, that's UConn. UConn is number 1. They've won 6 in the past 10 years. And not only that, they have not the longest, but also the second longest winning streak in college basketball history. 111 wins in a row and 90 wins in a row. That's absolutely unheard of. That's 200 wins in a row if you combine them. That's a lot. And then what they've done at UConn is just unheard of. That should not ever happen in any sport ever. And then Alabama, for me, is number 2, just because of the nature of football. It's so hard to constantly get back to the title game, win titles, because one injury to your star player can really put a damper on the season. And Alabama's won those titles without a star quarterback, excluding Tua. And so Texas swimming and diving has got to be number 3 for me. Eddie Reese has done a phenomenal job. 4 national titles in a row, 5 in the last 10 years. Absolutely phenomenal. But I got UConn 1, Alabama 2, Texas 3.
Yeah, I got to go with Jonathan here just because they also won 4 national championships in a row at UConn, and they won over 100 games in a row, which is really
unheard of.
Unbelievable. I remember when that happened. It was just unreal on SportsCenter that entire day. So, Jonathan, you're getting the point. All right, guys, on to Texas basketball. Junior guard Kerwin Roach announced yesterday that he will test the NBA draft waters, but the key here is he won't hire an agent. This means he still has the option to return back to the 40 acres for his senior season. In a couple mock drafts, Roach is projected to be selected early in the 2nd round, but what do you guys think? Should Roach stay or should he go? Sean?
Well, if Kerwin Roach is listening to me right now, and I don't think we know each other on that level. I've actually never met him. Maybe you can get in his ear, but I think that Kerwin should definitely come back. He's an NBA-level athlete, that's without a doubt. If you watch him play, watch him run up down the court, you can tell that. But I'm not sure if he's an NBA-level player. He's very unrefined as a player. Shoots in the 60s from the free throw line. Shoots low 30s from 3 this season, and that was his best year shooting 3s. Doesn't really pass the ball really well for a point guard, which is what he projects to be, only 3.5 assists per game this year. I think he should definitely stay another year, just not only selfishly for like the team doing well, because it'll make Texas basketball better, but also for him. I mean, being in the 2nd round, you're not guaranteed an NBA roster spot, so I definitely think he should come back.
And Texas is losing 4 guys, 2 to professional, 2 to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get a lot of playing time and a lot of looks on the offense as well if he comes back. Jonathan?
He absolutely needs to stay. Like Sean said, he's an athlete. That's what he is. He's not necessarily a basketball player. He's an athlete. And you've seen it on the highlight reel dunks and everything. But his shooting is a problem. And the 3-point line in college is shorter than in the NBA. If he's barely shooting 30% at the college level, he's probably going to be shooting about 25 in the professionals. So I don't think that Kerwin has the shot just yet. Maybe he can develop it in his senior year. to succeed at the NBA level. He doesn't have the handles. All he's got is the hops. That's really it. And so I don't think that he's going to succeed right away. He also needs to get a little bit stronger so that he can still bang with those bigger bodies in the NBA.
I would say he doesn't just have the hops. I think he's an elite defender. I mean, he
Against
did
Trae Young.
a good job against
Trae Young.
He did a good job against Trae Young. So, Turner, what about you? Should you stay or go?
I think he's doing a good job, putting his toe in the water. But I think if he is told that he can be drafted, I think he should go. He kind of carried this team in late game situations down the stretch a little bit, helped out. And I don't think his stock will get much higher if he comes back next year because Texas is not going to be, I don't think they're going to be near as good as they were this year, and they weren't that good this year. And so, like I said, I don't think his stock is going to get much higher than this. And if he can make money, go make money.
Sean, I hate to leave you without a point, but I got to go with Turner here. Isaiah Taylor, a couple of years ago, he didn't even get drafted, and now he's on an NBA roster with the Atlanta Hawks. I think Kerwin Roach, he leaves, he gets to play in the G League, he's still getting paid, he's still getting playing time. But he's getting paid. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a...
In Isaiah Taylor's defense, he was a better player than Kerwin Roach,
yeah,
in my opinion.
That's true. It's debatable, but I think Taylor was pretty good. But I think Roach could make a difference possibly down the line on an NBA roster. All right, guys, awesome stuff. After the break, our panelists will make their final four predictions, and we'll talk about the start of the MLB season. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Welcome back in the College Crossfire, your home for live sports debate on the 40 acres. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We got Jonathan Polasek with 1, Turner Barnes with 2, Sean Mapes in there at 0. Still plenty of time left for Sean Mapes. He might get it done today. He might get it done.
He might.
Baseball season.
He might pull an Arya Bastami.
All right, guys, let's get after it. We're near the end of March Madness, but the Final Four is officially set. It's the 11-seed Cinderella Loyola Chicago Ramblers versus the 3-seed Michigan Wolverines. And on the other side of the spectrum, it's 2-1 seeds Villanova and Kansas battling it out. Question is this: who are you guys picking to win the big dance? Jonathan?
Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. I think Kansas is going to take Villanova. They're going to beat Villanova in a very high-scoring affair. Villanova has one of the best offenses in the country. But at the same time, Kansas, they have 5 double-digit scorers, 3 players shooting over 40% from 3. And Devontae Graham is, I believe, the best player left in this tournament. I think he's going to take them over Villanova, and then they're going to take on Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean, and impose their will on them. Sorry, it's got to end at some point. And then Kansas takes home another title. This isn't Bill Self's most talented team, but it's one of his hardest working and his grittiest teams. I believe that they get the job done this year.
Another title in San Antonio. Last time they won a championship was 2008 in San Antonio. Turner?
I hate to copy, but I got the Kansas Jayhawks as well. I've had them from the beginning. I'm on bracket, not to brag. They are led by Devontae Graham as a Buki. He has an injury a little bit, but whenever he's out, D'Souza steps up. And the man with the plan, Malik Newman, has stepped up. He scored 14 points per game in the regular season. He's almost scoring 22 points per game during the tournament, 45% three-point shooting. Bill Self has been there. He's done that. It's time for the Kansas Jayhawks to rise back up to the top, cut the nets down.
Yeah, Azubuike's been amazing. When he got fouled out at that Duke game, I was like, oh, man, it's going to be tough for Kansas to get back in it. But, yeah, they stepped up. Sean?
I definitely think it's going to be the winner of the Villanova-Kansas game, but unlike these two right here, I think Villanova is going to be the one winning the title. I think definitely with guys like Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, they got a big guy who can shoot. This team, you said Kansas is battle-tested, Bill Self is battle-tested. Jay Wright and Villanova, they actually have guys who played in the national championship game against UNC a couple years ago. The Chris Jenkins shot. And I think this team, by the way, whoever wins Nova, Kansas, they're beating Michigan or Loyola. Loyola should just be happy to be here. Sister Jean, the only team chaplain, didn't pick them to be here. They're going to lose to Michigan. It was a fun ride, but I have Villanova winning.
Villanova winning, and Sister Jean only had them in the Sweet 16. They had all the way to the Final Four. I'm going to go with Sean here. I think Jay Wright's one of the best coaches in college basketball. So underrated, and he's done a great job.
So well dressed, too.
Yeah, very well. Best dressed coach in college basketball.
By far.
All right, Sean's getting the point. All right, guys, moving on to the association, guys. LeBron James is playing like the best in the world, and then some. James is in his 15th season, and he's averaging the most assists and rebounds ever in his career. Is this the best LeBron James we've ever seen, Turner?
I'm going to say the 08-09 LeBron season is the best one that he's had. Mo Williams, Iglesias, Anderson Varejao, Delonte West, you may be thinking that's a pretty good bench. That's the team, those are the starters that he carried to the Eastern Conference Finals. The 1 seed with 66 wins. He scored 28 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game. All-NBA first team. That was his first time. All-NBA defensive team. All-star. I'm running out of breath here because I'm talking too much. And the MVP for the first time. He lost to the Dwight Howard-led Orlando Magic back when Dwight Howard was considered the best center in the game. I know that was a long time ago, but he was, trust me. That, for me, is his first MVP season was his best season.
A lot of people forget about how good he was in those first years in Cleveland. He was amazing.
He was
Sean?
unstoppable. But I have to go with the Miami Heat version, 2013. He shot 57% from the field, 41 from 3. LeBron, the weakness is always that he can't shoot threes. That year, he was able to shoot threes. He was one of the best shooters in the league. You saw it in the finals against the Spurs. Had the block against Splitter and got celebrated. Was down court. Offense moved down the court. He got to come back and got an assist to Ray Allen. That really sums up what LeBron's all about. He was a nuclear athlete his entire career. He was the fastest guy in the league the whole time. But in Miami, especially in 2013, he was 270. He was weighed at 270, and he was the fastest guy in the league. He was the NFL defensive end and the fastest guy in the NBA. I got to go with 2013 LeBron. They also had the 27-game win streak.
And that's it seemed like when LeBron was that villain in the NBA, he was amazing.
The mask.
Oh, the mask. He was unbelievable. Jonathan?
I'm going to go with that this is the best iteration of LeBron that we've ever seen. He's in his 15th year. How many 15-year veterans have we seen that are playing at this level? 0.
Dirk?
No. LeBron James, he is the best player in the league every single year, but he is not only is he scoring, he's actually rebounding. He's assisting on just about every play for his team. And this Cleveland Cavaliers team is not very good. They had Isaiah Thomas with a broken hip. He's having surgery, so that shows you exactly how much he contributed to the Cavaliers when he was on them. Nothing. He's got Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Clarkson, J.R. Smith is nowhere to be found. Kevin Love's in and out with injuries. LeBron is doing absolutely anything and everything to keep this poorly constructed Cavaliers team in the hunt for the playoffs. They're probably going to be the 3 seed, and I believe that they're getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Whether or not they win there, it depends on whether or not they run into the Raptors. But this version of LeBron, he is changing the narrative for veterans in the NBA at this age.
LeBron James aging like a fine wine. But I gotta go. But I gotta go with Sean here. I think the Miami LeBron was the best LeBron because they were. Of course, they're in the finals every year, but they were the best team in the East by far.
Every game they had to bring it, because they're the biggest game on the schedule for every team. And
target on their backs.
Yeah,
and he was the villain he played his best as a villain, I think. All right, guys, back in 2014, Sports Illustrated made a bold prediction saying the Houston Astros would win the 2017 World Series. SI must have had some time travelers on staff because they hit that prediction right on the nail. With the MLB regular season starting back up tomorrow, I want you guys to give me a bold prediction for the upcoming 2018 season. Sean?
Well, you talked about the Astros. They're a really good team. That's not a bold prediction. They're definitely going to be a really good team. They have the MVP on their team from last year, Jose Altuve, and I think they have the MVP on their team this year, but it's Carlos Correa this time. He's 22 years old. He's going to turn 23 during the season. And basically, he got hurt last year, and that's the reason he wasn't really talked about as an MVP candidate. But if you look at his rate stats, so slugging percentage, on base, OPS, he was right up there with Altuve the entire year. He just missed about 50, 60 games. That's the reason. He's young. He can improve. I definitely think this is the year that Correa can make the step up. He also plays shortstop, which is more defensive position. It rates better in like WAR and all the advanced stats. If you're shortstop and you have the same year as a second baseman, you have a better year. So that's why I gotta go with Correa.
Correa is one of the biggest shortstops I think I've ever seen on that A-Rod level of like size.
He should
for
probably play
shortstop.
third. Yeah.
He's a beast there at short. Jonathan?
I don't believe that that's really a bold prediction. Houston has 3 MVP caliber players on their team: Altuve, Springer, Correa. You want bold? There's a team that's everybody's saying they're going to win the World Series this year because they got so many home run hitters. The Yankees are not making the playoffs.
Whoa,
They're not making the playoffs because one of Stanton or Judge is going to get hurt and miss significant time, maybe both. And that pitching staff, don't trust it. Masahiro Tanaka, too inconsistent. Sonny Gray can't stay healthy. CC Sabathia, just really, really old. And Luis Severino, I don't believe he takes the next step.
Wow, that is bold, especially for me. I have them as my World Series champions. Turner?
My bold prediction, the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to win their division over the Dodgers, and Paul Goldschmidt is going to win the NL MVP for the first time. He's been the runner-up twice. He got third last year. He's just a fantastic player, and the Diamondbacks have a pretty good rotation with Zach Greinke. Robbie Ray had a good breakout season. Taijuan Walker had a good breakout season. A lot of times you see rotations like that exceeding expectations. They fall back the next year. I don't think they're going to do that. And like I said, with Giancarlo Stanton out of the NL, it's Paul Goldschmidt's year to win the MVP.
Okay, Paul Goldschmidt, definitely. I had picked him to win the MVP last year, but
Got robbed.
I want to go bold. And on Crossfire, we're bold. Jonathan was the most bold with his answer, so Yankees not making the playoffs. Don't know if it's going to happen. I probably wouldn't put money on it, but I
already got money on it.
It's bold. It's bold. So Jonathan's getting the point. All right, great debate, guys. That's it for now. We've got Rapid Fire up next, and you don't want to miss it. Welcome back to College Crossfire. It's heating up in here for some rapid fire. For those of you watching at home, each question in rapid fire is worth 2 points, so anyone can still take home the victory. Let's take a look at that scoreboard. It's all knotted up here at 2. Anyone's game. Great game here right before the first day of the MLB season. All right, guys, here we go. Duke's season came to an end in the Elite Eight after losing to Kansas in overtime. The loss also marked the end of the Grayson Allen era. Allen is thought to be one of the college basketball's greatest villains for tripping players during games and throwing temper tantrums on the court. But in your mind, who's the biggest villain in the history of sports? Since rapid fire, so anyone can jump in.
I mean, I don't want to go like super dark and go with like O.J. Simpson. That's a little too much. So I'll go.
Villains on the court, on
yeah,
the field.
I'll go Christian Laettner. There's still people to this day that hate Christian Laettner. There's documentaries just called "I Hate Christian Laettner," and there's a wide variety of people. It's not just UNC fans, not just Duke haters. Everyone hated Christian Laettner. Probably still does. He's also kind of a jerk, like off the court, like. Not as big of a jerk as like O.J. a murderer, but he's still a big jerk. And so I got to go Christian Laettner. It's just one of the tip of the tongue answers.
Yeah, everyone gets on Grayson Allen for tripping guys.
Yeah.
Laettner stepped on a guy
Yeah.
while
He's
he was
the
on the
OG.
ground.
Yeah.
Oh, he was insane. You guys?
Well, in terms of if we're going to go with people stepping on people, I'm going to go with Ndamukong Suh because he's done it multiple times as well. Nobody likes playing up against him. Everybody says that he's a dirty player, and multiple people have experienced 300 pounds just not laying on him like in a scrum or anything like that, literally just stepping on him because Ndamukong Suh does not care. He is known, and it's been proven that he's been a dirty player throughout his entire career.
Yeah, even in Miami now too. When I was going to L.A.
I'm going to go against these guys. I'm going to say those two are more punks. Villains are more making the deal with the devil, the dark duo, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. You know, nobody likes them. People in New England and bandwagoners, they love them. But Bill Belichick, they've been caught cheating before. That's villainous. That's dark. And I mean the cutoff
hoodie.
The cutoff hoodie. That's
He's
just
scary.
evil.
He looks like the Sith Lord with that thing on.
Yeah.
I don't like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, but it's more because I respect them because they win all the time. Christian Laettner is a guy I just can't respect because he would step on guys. I mean, it was ruthless, and he did everything. He'd spit on guys. He's the funny boy, party boy. So I got to go with Sean Ayers getting the 2 points. All right, guys. Moving on, here at Texas, we take pride in our famous alumni. We have alumni like actor Matthew McConaughey and NBA star Kevin Durant, but we are going to test you on the famous alumni of the Final Four schools. So you get one guess per person, and the first person to guess correctly gets the point. And we're not going to guarantee every person we show is from a college. So we're not going to guarantee every college is going to be on here.
Oh.
All right, so
This
first
is
up.
Final Four?
Final Four,
Okay.
the Final Four teams. First up, we have the creator
Nate Smith
of the
from
game
Kansas.
basketball. Kansas. So Sean's got it. So hold on. Before we go
I
to
didn't
the
know how
next
to say
one,
the college
let me
team.
add up. So Sean's got 5 right now. I got next up. It's NFL
Oh, Howie
Fox
Long.
Pregame analyst.
Oh, sorry.
Where does he go to school?
He
Howie
went
Long.
to,
Also,
Michigan.
no, did not go to Michigan.
Villanova.
Villanova. Turner.
I was
Get
just
the
going to
point.
guess the other one. Yes.
All right, guys. Next, it's Leslie David Ross, a well-known actor who's best known for playing
Michigan.
Stanley.
Loyola. Loyola,
Chicago.
whatever the
Yeah.
school's called.
Well, we know the next one.
All
Wait,
right.
you said we don't guarantee
No,
all of them are
no,
on
not
there.
necessarily.
All right, guys. Our next
Okay.
famous alumni is singer Madonna. Where did she go to school?
Michigan.
Villanova. I have no
She
idea.
went to Michigan.
Yeah, my mom's a big Madonna fan. Not
Okay.
me.
Maves,
Just
man.
man
Sean's
card.
running away with this. All right,
He
guys.
is.
Our last famous alumni is famous country singer Toby Keith. Where did he go to
Kansas.
school? He did not go to
I
Kansas.
have
Oh, you
no
just picked
idea.
the Southern school.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna wait for Sean to go. He goes.
Oh, okay. I got the hot hand anyway.
Yeah,
Give me
you do.
Michigan.
Did not go to Michigan.
Oh.
So you
All
got
right.
Loyola,
So it's
Chicago,
Loyola or
or
Villanova.
Villanova.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Villanova.
Villanova.
Yeah, there we
that's
go.
Villanova.
Villanova. All
probably-
right. Awesome. So we got Jonathan with 2.
Yes.
Doesn't look good for him. Turner's got 4, and Sean's got 7. So
What?
unless Turner makes a big
I ain't doing
comeback here. But
anything.
it's possible. It's possible. All right, guys. Final rapid fire of the night. I hope you guys are hungry because baseball season is here, which means ballparks are releasing their new stadium foods, and some of these foods are outrageous. Let me tell you. For this question, we're going to go down the line one by one. I'll give you the name of a food and the description of the food, and you tell me if it's real or fake. 1 point for each correct answer. So, Jonathan, you're going to start us off. First, the Los Angeles Dodgers made something called the Cheeto Lote. It's roasted corn on the cob that is covered with flaming hot Cheeto dust. Real or fake?
Real.
It is real. Correct. So, Jonathan's getting the point.
I've seen those. I've had those.
Yeah, that's not.
Next up is what we call, the Colorado Rockies call the mac and cheese bacon donut, which is a maple donut topped with shredded bacon bits and a gooey pile of mac and cheese. Real or fake, Turner?
I'm gonna say fake.
It is fake.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Able to catch it. All
Too
right.
good to be true.
Next up for you, Sean, is the Shohei Sushi. The Los Angeles Angels brought this new dish to the table after signing Japanese sensation Shohei Ohtani. The catch is the sushi rolls look like baseballs, and you use chopsticks that look like baseball bats. Real
No,
or
they
fake?
don't name food after people with that get rocked in spring training. I'm gonna go fake.
Fake. It is correct. It is fake. So Sean's got 8.
Also
Looking
got
good
to
for Sean.
sneak in
All right,
a.
guys. All right. No. Do you want to just? You want to keep going? All right. Second time around. This is next food is sold at Seattle Mariners games. Toasted grasshoppers, Jonathan. Literally toasted grasshoppers. That's what it is. Real or fake?
Let's go real.
It is real. Jonathan, you guys are pretty good at this.
I
All
like
right.
the food.
We know food.
Your next ballpark item isn't actually food, but something really cool. The New York Yankees have something called beer foam art, where they print players' faces on the foam of beer, like Aaron Judge and Aroldis Chapman. Real or fake?
That's gotta be real.
It is real. You guys are on fire. All right, guys. Last food of the night. Sean already has the win.
Yeah.
It's the pickled churro made by the Texas Rangers. Sounds insane because it's literally a pickle stuffed inside a churro that's deep fried and then covered with vanilla ice cream. Real or fake?
I'll just go fake.
It is fake. So
That would be
you guys got all of
disgusting.
them right.
Bat
Nice
flip.
job. All right, guys. So Sean Mapes is your champion. We do not have time for FaceTime, so congratulations to Sean Mapes. First win in a long time.
Oh.
So Sean Mapes is your champion. Don't miss College Press Box next Monday at 9:30 for a recap of all sports news on the 40 Acres. Special thanks to everyone in the studio, Master Control, and the U for spending your Wednesday night with us. Till next time, I'm Mark Skol Jr. Good night.